Can I just have them?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Journey to Bethlehem. This morning we're going to go on a journey from where we are back in time and back towards the manger where Jesus was born. I hope everyone has a program. It's your guide to what's happening today. It's all going to be on the screen for you to see, but don't leave these in the pews. Take them home. There's beautiful artwork across the centuries of Christian art, and you can retell the story with each other at home using these pictures. So we'll start where we are, and remember that at Christmas, we are all called to come to Bethlehem and see the baby that was born to save us all. Today we're going to be singing, and then listening to the story, and singing and listening to the story, and in the end we'll be celebrating and waving our glow sticks and rejoicing that Christ has come. So I'd like to invite you to stand, and we're going to sing together the first verse of "O Come All Ye Faithful." Picture on the screen. This is where the story starts. Listen to how it happened. The angel Gabriel was sent from God to a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a young woman, a virgin named Mary. She was engaged to a man whose name was Joseph. He was of the ancestry of the great King David. Now the virgin's name was Mary. And the angel said to her, Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. Behold, you're going to conceive in your womb and bring forth a son. And you will call his name Jesus. Because he will be great. He will be the Son of the Most High. And of his kingdom there will be no end. For nothing will be impossible with God. Mary heard all these words. She was full of wonder, but she was also full of faith. And she said, Behold, I am the servant of the Lord. Let it be to me according to his word. That's exactly the picture you see behind me. Mary on her knees speaking to the angel, saying, I don't understand, but I am willing to have Jesus as my child. You can go ahead and stay seated as we sing the second verse of O Come All Ye Faithful.
In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration where Quirinius was the governor of Syria, and all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. And remain seating as we sing What Child Is This?
When there was no room in the inn for Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, they found a place in a barn where there was a feeding trough filled with straw. And the wonderful miracle happened. The time came for Mary to give birth to her baby. And she brought forth her son, and she wrapped him tightly in swaddling clothes. And she laid him in the manger because there had been no room for them in the inn. I'm going to invite the Hunter family, Ben and Lindsay and their children to come forward. They're going to light the candle that reminds us that Jesus is born. All during the month of December, we lit a candle each week expecting the birth. And at last, on Christmas Eve, we light the candle that tells us Jesus has arrived. The light of the world is shining. It's the center candle that they'll light for us. think for a moment about the beautiful and strange scene that the Son of God was lying as a little baby in a manger, surrounded by the animals, perhaps being warmed by the breath of the sheep and the cows. Mary and Joseph looking on with wonder, with gratitude that their baby was safe, and wondering where their lives would lead. We'll stay seated as we think about that, singing a verse away, 2 verses away in the manger.
And in the same region, there were shepherds out in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone all around them. And they were filled with great fear. And the angel said to them, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign for you. You will find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude in a heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased." So please rise as we sing out to the Lord, "Angels be heard on high."
thankful for my sweet-voiced worship team that's with us today to help lead the singing. And we've arrived at the stable. Our journey is almost complete. The shepherds have come. Jesus is born. And we are pondering what it meant. So I was thinking about how to think about what Jesus' birth means to us. And I found a very old that was written by a very, very famous person about a king and a maiden. And I want to tell you that story today. So once upon a time, there was a great king. You'll see his picture up on the screen. He was this very strong-looking king. He could hold the sword up high and ride with his sword out all day long because he was so strong. And he wore chain-link armor when he went out to battle. And he was so strong and so commanding that all his enemies feared him. And all his people loved him. For he was the kind of king that when his warriors saw him, they loved him and wanted to follow him. No one dared rise in rebellion against this king because he was so powerful and so commanding, so regal, so beautiful, so strong. Well, this king ruled over a great realm, but he was a bit lonely, for he had no wife and he had no children. And from time to time, he would rise early in the morning and slip out of his castle before any of his servants would even know he was gone. He would ride out into his realm to see if there was peace in the land, to let his thoughts be collected, to ponder. And one morning, as this king rode out, and he was coming through some woods towards a hidden lake, he peered through the woods at the lake and saw something that made his breath stop. It was a beautiful maiden. She was sitting in a boat on the water, out before anyone else had even arisen. And immediately the king was in love with her. She was so beautiful, clearly so full of grace, with a heart full of love. He knew that she had to be his queen. He did not make a sound. She did not see him. But he rode immediately back to his castle, and he awoke his courtiers, and he called together his advisors, and he said, I have found the woman who must be my wife, but she does not know me. What shall I do? How can I make her my wife? Some of the wise men in his court said, we know what you can do. Command her, O king. Send out word. She must obey. No one disobeys you in all the realm. Say the word, and she will come and be your wife. Yes, thought the king, I shall fetch her immediately. And he thought, but no, if I command her to come, she must be my wife. But how will I know if she loves me? If I make her come to me, then she is not free. And I do not want her to be another servant. I have servants. I want her to be my bride, my wife. No, he said to that wise man, that won't do. What else shall I do to make her my bride? Another wise man raised his hand. I know, O king, what you can do. You can go to her in all your finest robes and splendor and show her your feats with a mighty sword. You can have joust with other knights and defeat them. And she will swoon for your power. She will be amazed at your beauty. And then you will ask her to be your bride. How could she refuse? Yes, said the king, I'll do that. I'll ride out in all my splendor. But no. If I show her my glory and overwhelm her, and she is but a poor maiden, again she will not be free. She will be frightened of me. She'll be scared and intimidated. That won't do at all. There must be another way. But none of the other wise men spoke to the king. They did not know if he would not command, if he would not overwhelm her. Finally, the king came up with his own plan. This is what I will do. And he called his prince to him and he said, now listen, you must rule my realm. You must tell the people I have gone away on a great errand, for I will not return for 3 years. And at that the king laid aside his robe, and he took off his crown, and he took off his armor, and he dressed himself in rags. And he rode out to the section of his realm where the princess lived. And there he acted as if he were but a traveling craftsman. And he caught on to get work. He worked on a farm, picking up the scraps as they harvested the crops, or cleaning out the straw in the barn, or cleaning up after the animals. He worked, and no one knew who he was. Dressed only in rags, he waited for the day when he might meet that maiden, perhaps on the way to church, or in the marketplace. And over time, he spoke kindly to her. And he knew that she might catch the eye of another man, that he might lose her. But he worked, and he wooed, and he loved her. Until finally one day, he was going to ask her to marry him. And he saw her walking down the street. And as he gazed at her, began to start towards her. Suddenly there was a cart pulled by a mighty horse. And the owner had dropped the reins, and the horse was galloping at full speed, and the cart was out of control, heading straight for the maiden. And the king, in his peasant rags, knew he had no time to call out. His voice had no authority, and so he leaped in front of that horse and pushed the maiden aside. And she was safe. He fell to the ground, trampled by the mighty wheel. And for 3 days, he lay as if one dead. He lay asleep and wounded. And no one knew who he was. And no one knew if he would recover. But she stayed by his side. And she loved him because she knew he had given his life for her. Until on the third day, when he awoke, she looked into his eyes and he into hers. And he said, "You are my beloved. Would you be my wife?" And she agreed. And when he left that house of healing, he returned to his castle and came back to the maiden and knocked on her door. And he was dressed again in all his robes, and she saw that at the door was the king of the realm, who had come to make her his bride, his equal, his beloved. That, my friends, is the story of Christmas in another form. That our God wanted us to love him, not because he is mighty and can destroy us, not because he is so far above us that we have no choice, but because he loves us. He came to us as a child and grew to be a man who would give his life for us so that we might know he loves us with all his heart, and that we, his people, might be the bride of Christ. That, I believe, is the true meaning of Christmas.
Let's continue into our journey into the true story of Christmas as the shepherds visit Jesus. When the angels went away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go over to Bethlehem and to see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and a baby lying in a manger. And when they saw it, they made known the saying that had been told to them told them concerning this child. And all who heard it wondered at what the shepherds had told them. But Mary treasured up all these things, pondering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, as it had been told to them. So do rise this morning as we sing together and worship our Lord as we sing the first Noel.
Stay on your feet while I read you the last part of this story, because there's a part for all of us to do when we get to what the wise men did. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, behold, wise men from the east came, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and we have come to worship him." King Herod sent them to Bethlehem, and behold, the star that they had seen when it rose went before them, until it came to rest right over the place where the child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. And going into the house, they saw Mary, his mother, and they saw the child. And here's what I want you to do if you're here. And they bowed down to him. And they worshiped him. And they gave him gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, all the treasures that they had brought. And they said, surely God has been good to us, for we have seen the King. Please be seated. Every Christmas Eve, we take up an offering, and we don't keep it for ourselves. In the true spirit of bringing gifts to the Christ child, the money that we collect today, we give to our city, to people in need. We give it to those who are looking for work, who need help with light bills, who need food through the Christian Outreach Center. We give it to those who are trying to raise their children from difficult lives into lives where they can achieve through the Gardere Community Christian School. The ushers are going to come forward and they'll pass the plates as we listen to a very special song that Leah's going to sing for us.
Beautiful. Okay, boys and girls, men and women, our deacons and pastors are going to be passing around glow sticks for you. And when you get these glow sticks, we are going to use them to celebrate with the angels. Just imagine what it would have been like that night that our Savior came, as the angels were singing, and the light of Christ was shining in all the hearts of the people. So when you get your glow sticks, this is the fun part. Are you listening? You're ready, boys and girls? You get to break it, and then you get to shake it. So as soon as you get your little glow stick, break it, and shake it. And then you can rise, and we will sing Silent Night together in unison.
so wonderful to be together on Christmas.
Would you receive this benediction?
The angel said to the shepherds, as he says to you, fear not, for behold, I give you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born today in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. Peace on earth, goodwill toward men, glory to God in the highest. Amen.
Amen. Merry Christmas.